The king has returned. Let's see if we can find something good. My favorite pawn shop, Cash America. Let's go. Thank you.
I need to double check that. Hello, welcome.
Thank you. There we go. I got it. Thank you.
Let's see what one, my friend. This one over here.
Yeah, we'll start on this section.
Go ahead. You finish with this case?
I'll let you know.
Let me know.
Yep. I think this is a VR game. I think that's a VR game. Street Fighter. VR. What's that?
Let's see.
All right. And then out of here, the Mario Kart.
Right.
All right, I'm heading over there. See if you can work your magic for me.
Everything come to $65.59, my friend.
All right, what does it break down to? Just so I know.
$9,
Okay.
$7,
Okay.
$10, $10, and $25.
Okay. These two are a little bit steep for me, but everything else I can do. Like if it was like, if this was like 6 and this was like 8, I'd probably do it. Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair. You can keep those then. I'll just do those.
Got it, boss. And then this one, boom. So it's gonna be $44.09 for you, my friend.
Sounds good.
Cool beans. Here you go, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Take care. God bless always. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not gonna lie, it was a little dry in there. Didn't have a whole lot I really needed to pick up. And as you saw, you don't always win. That was a situation where I wasn't gonna be able to get what I needed to for those 2 games. I had Modern Warfare 2 on PS5 and Battlefield 2042. Battlefield was worth 7 in trade and they wanted 7 for it, so it wasn't worth it. And then Call of Duty was worth like 10 and they wanted 9, so it's not worth picking them up if I'm only going to get a very, very small boost in value. But I did pick up a few games, mostly for the collection, honestly. One of them is a decent come up. We have Mario Kart 8 on the Switch. They wanted originally 35. I got it for 20, I think, something like that. But it's worth like 27. So plus the 20% bonus, this should be a pretty decent boost in value. So I'll take it. Pretty solid there. This one I got mostly because A, you don't see NES games in a pawn shop very often, and B, it's just funny because Ninja Gaiden 2 was remastered. Not this Ninja Gaiden 2, but the Xbox 360 Ninja Gaiden 2 was remastered. So I picked up Ninja Gaiden 2 on the NES. The original Ninja Gaiden 2. Look at that label. Very nice. They wanted 20. I think I got it for like 10, so it wasn't terrible. All right, and my last 3 games, 2 of which I got to keep. They're VR games, so I don't really need them because I don't have VR, but they were cheap enough and you don't see them super often. First, we have a loose copy of Bravo Team on the PS4. It's a game made by Supermassive. Back when PSVR came out, Sony had Supermassive make a number of PSVR games. Another one of those is Until Dawn Rush of Blood on the PS4. So this is a Until Dawn game where you go through a theme park. Really doesn't have much to do with Until Dawn, but, you know, it's worth a snag, I guess. And then the last game I got to trade in is Tekken 7 on the PS4. All those PS4 games I paid $3 each. and Tekken is worth like 7 or so in trade-in, so I'll definitely double my money on that. So I did pretty well. So yeah, I got 2 games to trade in, 3 to add to the collection. Not the greatest haul, but I did raid them a couple weeks ago, so it's not that surprising that they haven't gotten a ton in stock since. So yeah, there's that. But let's head over. I'm actually going to go grab lunch now at a local barbecue place, and then we're going to head to another location that it's been a very long time since I've been to, the thrift shop. So I never go to this pawn shop because they're always overpriced. But it has been over a year since I've been there. Maybe something will be different. I doubt it, but you never know. Let's find out. That was a surprisingly great score. So, a couple things. First off, I picked out a few games in the case and was told that they're charging $10 for Xbox One PS4, which is not great. However, there were a couple I just wanted for my personal collection, and I kept those, so I did pick up a couple at $10 each. But the main reason why I was prompted to do it is because they had, first of all, a PS3 game that was worth a lot in trade-in. And second, they had a binder of loose games. And I asked, okay, well, how much are the loose games? $2 a piece. And I grabbed a boatload of them because there's some really good ones, including one that I'm very much going to be trading in because it's worth a good amount of trading credit, and the rest are just fun additions to my collection. So let's go ahead and start off with those. All right, so we'll start off with Spy Fox Dry Cereal on the Wii. This was an old PC game that they ported to the Wii. Figured I'd snag it. That's a, Spy Fox game was always fun back in the day, so might as well try the Wii version. This one was a good get. Samba de Amigo on the Wii, disc only. I'm a sucker for weird, obscure Wii games. If you've watched Scott the Woz, you know this one. It is a data design game. Rock and Roll Adventures on the Wii, so that's fun. Another crap game that I didn't have, Calvin Tucker's Redneck Jamboree on the Wii. Impossible Mission on the Wii. A lot of Wii shovelware games, but these are kind of fun Wii shovelware games, so I didn't mind picking them, especially at $2 a piece. And then the last one is King of Clubs, which is a mini golf game on the Wii. So those are all the loose games. Well, I do have one more that's in this case. And that was the biggest one because I was a little surprised when I saw it. And it's definitely a good pickup for $2. That is Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PS5. So yeah, that game is, it's worth like $9 or $10 in trading credit by itself. So that was good, but that was actually not the best score of this adventure because I actually got an even better one on the PS3 because surprisingly, this game trades in to GameStop. Sorry, I'm trying to close this case because it's a little loose and it's got multiple games in it. This trades in at GameStop for like $15. I paid $2 for it. The Killzone trilogy. So this includes Killzone 1, 2, and 3 on PS3. It's the most up-to-date way to play the original Killzone games. I already have it, but this trades in to GameStop for $15. So, yeah. Combine that with Miles Morales, and you got, what, 30... almost like $25 at least in trading credit there. So that's pretty good. And then the last two games, these are the ones that I paid $10 for just because I don't have them physically and I wanted to add them to my collection. The first is A Way Out on the Xbox One. This game used to have a lot of value. It doesn't anymore, but I'm excited to play A Way Out. I still need to play it with Corey. One of these days we will. But it's made by Joseph Fares, who made Game of the Year winner It Takes Two. This was the first like co-op centric game. And he's got a new one coming out this year, which I'm excited about. And then last but certainly not least, and this is another collection that I've wanted to pick up for a bit and finally did, the Inside and Limbo collection. I have Inside on Xbox One. I don't have Limbo, but now I have both physically. So paid about a little less than $40 total, but we got ourselves a bunch of loose Wii games that I think are pretty good value. And at least half of that is back in to 2 games that we're going to be trading in. So can't complain about that. All right, it is time for the final recap for this week's episode. And yeah, we got a couple things from Cash America. Nothing insane, but a couple new additions to the collection. Of course, some credit, which you'll see in the GameStop episode, which is the next one. So it's coming, don't worry. And then we surprisingly scored at Queen of Pawns. That place is weird. The big thing is them saying, oh, games with boxes, we will always charge $10. Unless you find something crazy, that's a bad deal. Especially because as you've seen in most of my videos, you can find boxed games at almost every single place. And you can pay $5, $6, like way less. Now granted, they do tend to have a few like higher value titles, but not necessarily all the time. But their loose discs were $2, and there were a ton of really good ones. So I'm guessing people were probably turned off by the $10 per game cost, and then didn't bother to look in the loose discs, and that was my benefit. So I scored very big at Queen of Pawns, which I don't think I've ever said before. But yeah, let's get to Cash America first. Of course, all the stuff that I traded in GameStop, like I mentioned before, is going to be included on the GameStop episode. So we'll go over the total value of everything I traded in for all 3 of these episodes on that episode. So let's start off with the 2 least interesting games from Cash America that I ended up keeping. The first is Bravo Team on the PS4. This is a VR game. As you can see, this is a trashed case. I tried to peel labels off and gave up because these are just so plastered on this case. It's not worth it. So I'm probably going to get rid of this case eventually, but I mean, it's a case. I'll keep the game in there for now. I picked this up mostly because, you know, the PSVR 1 is going to start like plummeting in value just because PSVR 2 is out. And there's not really a reason to bother getting PSVR 1 except for the games you can play on it, which they are exclusive. I don't know if you knew this, but PSVR 1 games are not playable on PSVR 2. So, and the PSVR 1 is playable on PS5, but you have to have like an adapter for it. So I would like to get a PSVR 1 and a PSVR 2 eventually, but those are far down the road, not a concern right now. But I figured I might as well pick up some games if I can get them for cheap. So this one, I paid, I think it was $3. $3, it's worth $7 in loose condition, so tis what it is. Next up is a complete copy, although again, the case is not in the greatest shape. We have Until Dawn Rush of Blood on the PS4, another VR game. This is a on-rail shooter that's somehow tied to Until Dawn, although I don't know why, because it has nothing to do with Until Dawn, but I like Until Dawn, so I figured I might as well grab this weird spin-off game. Paid $3. This one is worth $10. And then the only other game that I kept from Cash America was in celebration of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black coming out on the Xbox Series and PS5 as a surprise drop in celebration of Ninja Gaiden 4 coming out later this year. I had to get Ninja Gaiden 2 on the NES. The original Ninja Gaiden 2. Dark Sword of Chaos. So this is the OG Ninja Gaiden series. It's a very clean cart. The label's in good shape. I don't have a ton of NES games, and I figure I'll grab them if they look interesting enough. This one definitely did, so I figured it was worth a snag. I paid $10. This one's worth $13, so a little bit of a bump there. And then we get to Queen of Pawns, which was the highlight of this episode, surprisingly enough. I didn't even film in there because I expected to come away with nothing. Well, I did film a little clip. If I knew that there was going to be some good stuff in there, I would have actually tried to turn on the GoPro, but I didn't. But yeah, scored very big. We got a bunch of loose games, a couple games to trade in GameStop, and then a couple games to add to the collection. Well, all these are added to the collection because I still have them. So I guess we'll start with this one because I have a case for it now. In the next episode, you'll see that I acquired a few cases and cover arts for free. What I decided to do, one of them is actually for a game that I already own. I just didn't have the case and cover art and manual for it. Now it's a complete copy, which I'll show you that next week. But the other two are kind of valuable games that I don't own, but the case and cover art were there for free. So what I did is I'm going to reuse the case for games that I actually do have. But the cover art and the manual, if there is a manual, I'm putting in my box of cover art manuals so that if I ever get those games, I can just use a case and boom, I have an almost complete copy or a complete copy. So, but this is one of those cases that I decided to reuse for a loose game, and that is for Samba de Amigo on the Wii. The first of our loose games I got from Queen of Pawns. I have the new one on the Switch, and I've always wanted to get the old one on the Wii. I've never found it for cheap enough, and I think $2 is a pretty darn good price. I paid $2, and it is worth $6, so not too bad there. And then yes, I'm sure you'll notice a lot of these games are in the Wii shovelware variety, and I'm fully aware of that. I mostly got them because they were $2, and they might be worth at least a few minutes of enjoyment. I think $2 is worth at least a few minutes of enjoyment, even if a game is bad. And to start things off, we have the masterpiece that is Rock and Roll Adventures on the Wii. If you've ever watched Scott the Woz, you know. He talked about dated design. That is a dated design game. It looks terrible, but I wanted to get it because I like bad games sometimes. Paid $2. It is worth $3. That tells you how bad that game is. I also messed up and picked up a game I already own in complete form, and I didn't realize it until after. I need the other one, not this one. Calvin Tucker's Redneck Jamboree on the Wii. Although this disc is in really good shape, so I'll have to check the one I've got to see if this one's better. It might be. But that one I paid $2, and it's also worth $3. So, I mean, Wii shovelware that's just worth absolutely nothing. Speaking of Wii shovelware that's not worth much, Impossible Mission on the Wii. That one's published by Codemasters, but it's another like shovelware puzzle game, I think is what it is. I paid $2, it's worth $4. Then we have The King of Clubs on the Wii, a golf game that can be fun, I guess. I paid $2, it's worth $5. And then the best of the Wii shovelware games, I think, is Spy Fox in Dry Cereal on the Wii. It's a classic PC game from back in the day. If you like those humongous entertainment, old school PC games, that's a port of that on the Wii. I'm not 2, so I don't need to play that game ever again, but hey, maybe it'll be fun on the Wii. Might as well try it. Paid $2, and that one is worth $7. So, grand total for those Wii games, not a whole lot. I think, yes, Spy Fox was the best, followed by Samba de Amigo. Then the rest were not worth much at all. But the two games I picked up that I wanted to add to my collection because I think they're pretty good pickups, honestly. The first one is A Way Out on the Xbox One. I do have a digital copy of this, but I wanted a physical copy, especially because I have It Takes Two physically. So I might as well have a complete collection of Hazelight's games. So I have this one now, physical copy of it. Pretty happy with it. This was worth a lot of money at one point. I don't think it is anymore, but still pretty cool to have. I paid $10 for this, and it is worth $17. So it still has some pretty good value. And then last but certainly not least, we have Inside and Limbo on the Xbox One. Double pack that includes both of those games on a single disc. I do have a digital copy of Inside. I've infamously never beaten it. I got really close to the end, but I have not beaten it. It also does not include the art card and the poster, unfortunately, but it includes the disc. That's the important thing. But I've never played Limbo, and I've heard Limbo is very good, so I figured I'd try it. I paid $10, and this is worth 16. So overall, I think we did pretty well. We got a bunch of Wii shovelware. We got an NES game, a couple PSVR games, and a couple quality Xbox One games to add to the collection. Can't complain. So that's going to do it for this episode of the Bargain Game Hunter. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. That way you know when new videos drop. And trust me, we do have one more part of this epic 3-part game hunt trip. This coming out next week with the GameStop haul, as well as a couple other pawn shops, including the thrift shop. That's right, I did go back to AZ Thrift, and well, we'll see how I did. So I'll see you next time. Bye.